very honourable, to be honest, yeah. If I've made a difference to people and children and their parents, then great, that's my job. I'm happy because that's my job as a coach. Then I've done my job for judo, and that makes me feel good because I know I've done something right and I'm going down the right path and they're enjoying it and they get a buzz out of it. So yeah, that's good.
Debbie joined Westerly, she's in her 12th year with us. She actually came along to the club with a friend, I believe, and said, oh, I think I'll give it a go. And Paul, the senior coach, he kind of thought, she looks like she might have done this before. And he asked her and she said, no, I haven't done this before. Anyway, as the time progressed, Paul took her to one side and said, you've definitely done judo before, haven't you? And she said, well, yes. He said, well, what belt did you get to? She went, I got to a black belt. And he said, you're a black belt? And she said, yes, but that was a few years ago. And she said, I want to start again. So Debbie, being Debbie, decided to start from the bottom and work her way back up again. And then she obviously really enjoyed being with us. We saw that Debbie had something special and Paul decided to ask her to become a coach here, and she's been coaching for many years with us.
Debbie's just an amazing person. She's always had a belief in Joe that he would be able to achieve things that I perhaps never really thought he would be able to achieve. My son Joe's got special needs and he has got a physical disability. When he was little we were told he'd never walk, and there he is on the mat today doing judo. So yeah, Debbie's just an amazing encourager really. She's really made a difference, not just to my son but to me and my husband. And well, actually, really, she's really made a difference to Joe, and I know that Joe would tell you that himself because he thinks a lot of Debbie. She's a very special person.
She's brilliant with all our athletes. It's a big club, we've got over 100, of which 35% of those do have a disability, whether it's physical or learning. But Debbie's very, very inclusive with them. She's hands-on with them. She doesn't treat them any differently. She's firm, she's fair, and she's just brilliant. Because Debbie has made a huge difference, not just to the children at Westerly, but to the parents. A lot of our parents who bring their children along have been turned away from other sports, not necessarily judo, and other leisure activities because of their behaviour or their disability. And Westerly doesn't turn anybody away. Debbie doesn't turn anybody away. She embraces everybody, and the parents, they will sit there at sessions with tears streaming down their faces because they see their children achieving something they never believed they would ever be able to do, and that's because of people like Debbie.
I was flabbergasted. So it was when I looked at it and I got a letter, and I looked at it and I looked at it and I looked at it once, twice, and I looked at it 3 times. And then at the bottom it said Denza and White, and I thought, God. And it was to me, and I found it so hard to believe, because when you go into this, you don't go into it for awards, and this was. It wasn't a dream come true, it was just something I never expected, to be honest. I didn't think I was worthy of it. But I was so humble, I was so proud of it as well.
Enfield Judo Club was selected to be one of the hub clubs as part of the Premier League for Sport programme to work in partnership with Tottenham Hotspur. Premier League for Sport is a national programme targeting 4 Olympic sports, and the aim is to set up sort of satellite clubs to ensure the long-term participation into hub clubs. George has been sort of an extremely pivotal person, coach, involved in the programme in regards to setting it up. He's got so much enthusiasm, so much energy and drive to get things running. without George, without a doubt, this programme wouldn't have been a success. George has been instrumental in setting up taster sessions, he's been in assemblies, morning clubs, he was involved in the launch, anything to get young people inspired and engaged in these clubs. He's got a fantastic personality, he's always encouraging young people, always sort of really making a joke, inspiring people. He's been really instrumental in getting his own coaches involved in the programme as well. He's always, ensuring that his coaches are upskilled and are embedded in the project. So he's got a lot of his younger coaches involved as helpers. So they come along and he mentors his coaches. So we've seen real success through the programme for his club as well.
George is a coach. He's one of these special coaches that can coach from every angle. He can take classes with the very young ones, but he can also bring people on to fight and compete in tournaments that are, at the national level and international level, and that's a really special coach can go right across that spectrum. So he's able to relate to children in a way that they understand. So he will make his classes fun. He will give them elements in their classes which we might not see as judo, but actually reaches to them so they understand the concept of what they're doing. He can then move that on to the older children. If you come here on one of the older sessions, there's a very high work rate in the club because he's motivated them in a way that they do the drills themselves. So he will set the drills and they will work the drills through, and that actually transpires into the competitive element, so that when he's not there, they're able to do that element of judo at a high level. Because he's positive and he's engaging, and he's got time for everybody, whether you're a competitor or you're just starting out your judo. He's also very positive, where he inspires all his volunteers in the club. The club worked towards club mark and our club marked club, and that took a lot to pull that together. So he's had to sort of help some of the volunteers understand their roles and back them for some of the things that we're trying to do. It's a brilliant club. I mean, George is the club really, but it's inspiring to see that he's actually bringing other people through, and it's not going to just be Enfield Judo Club with George in it. It's Enfield Judo Club with the new generation coming as well. So it's brilliant. Keep up the good work. That's all I'd say.
I just want to say thank you, George, for being such a fantastic coach, for making this project work, for sort of really being such an encouraging, inspiring person, and I really look forward to working with you for another year on the Premier League for Sport programme.
Just to say thanks for everything you've done over the years, and well done, you deserve it.
You feel that like you've all put a little bit in to make the club the winner, if you know what I mean.
Like you feel quite proud as well of being in the club and things. So.
And everyone's always really welcoming, because I did a martial art before this, and I did a taster day here and I really liked it. So we all came down and everyone was always really welcoming and helpful, and no one really expected you to be anything that you weren't really. You just did what you could, and that was it really. It was really good.
Well, over the last 12 months what we've been doing is we've been working really hard on developing the team of volunteers and coaches within the club, and we've now got about 13 or so coaches or instructors, but this as much goes on off the mat, to be honest, because we're trying to go for our gold club mark. So we have a lot of welfare officers, fundraisers, membership secretaries, merchandise officers. They're working all the time. They work very hard, and it's a nice reward for all of those guys. So the other thing we've done in the last 12 months, we've been working really hard on trying to get our new dojo, which will be based at the new college which is being built. And I think the hardest thing that we've been trying to work on the last 12 months is building a class schedule which allows the kids to have a pathway right through sort of introductory to recreational, right from under 8s right through to seniors. And the nice thing about that is then coaches can find their place in that pathway as well as the participants. Makes a big difference. So what's been particularly critical in the growth of the club has been our relationship with the Rutland County Council and also the School Sports Partnership. In terms of, I don't think we could have done what we needed to do with the schools programme if we'd had Chris Thomas engaged as the Partnership Development Manager. He's really good, he's really organised, he's really structured, he's good at getting funding, and he's convinced all the schools and engaged them really well to be part of the judo programme. And it's just gone from strength to strength over the last 5 years. Also, I don't think, again, we'd have been able to grow at the rate we did unless we'd had some help from the BJA running the coaching programmes and the coaching awards, because over the last 18 months, I guess we've had at least 9 coaches and instructors go through those different courses. So without those in place, there's no way we could have grown at the speed that we have. One person I must thank, and it's you, Terry Ann. Well done. Terry Ann's been very helpful in helping us raise quite a lot of the funding towards our new dojo, which we hope to move to around April next year. This will be based at the local college, and at the moment we've got a barometer which tells us we're up to about £50,000 out of the 100 that we're targeting. So, well done, Terry. Last thing I would like to say is thanks very much, BJ, for giving us the award. I'm sure everybody around the tables in the room at the awards dinner are really pleased. Certainly helps us attract more funding, but I have to say I think we very much deserved it in the last year because we've all worked really hard. So thanks very much.
She's great. She's a lovely lady. She'll teach anyone. She taught at schools, and a lot of the kids down here have a lot to thank Jean for. But she's just an amazing person. Jean's done a lot for the club. She was at the club when I first started. She originally took it up and was competing, then she took up coaching when she had 3 boys as well. So she used to come down and start teaching. And she was very much the technical coach down the judo club. We had the technical training from Jean, and then we had the Randori fighting training, so to speak, from our other coach, Roy. But Jean was very much the one that was the focus on the technical. And she's been here through thick and thin. She went down the council and sat there till she got land for us to build our new judo club on when we got kicked out, well, when they pulled down the old school hall that we were in. And she was treasurer for many years. She's had a couple of tragedies through her life as well, but all the way through she's always come down and she's always taught the children. She's always been here for the kids, and she's been here for my boys as well, so she's always been here for the judo club despite what's going on elsewhere. Basically, Jean's held Newby Judo Club together for the last few umpteen years really. She's been the mainstay of Newby Judo Club. She certainly inspired me when I was a junior, and she was one of the reasons I was able to win competitively with her technique training. So for me personally, she's done an awful lot for my judo. For the club, she is Newby Judo Club. She's still about, she's still on the committee, so she's still keeping an eye on us. And you know, we just want to try and continue in the vein that Jean had for many years through the club, just to keep it going, and to try and make her proud of us now. She just doesn't understand how much good she's done. She doesn't realise how appreciative everyone is of what she's done for the judo club. She just sees it as she did judo, she wanted to teach that back to the kids, and that's what she's done. And she doesn't see it as anything special, but you know, through some of the things she's been through as well, she's very special.
Yeah, we've had a lot of fun. You just keep going, don't you? There was a time if I'd have stopped, I think the club would have had our job to continue. Now we've got a nice lot of black belts and they can run, no problem at all.